Oh, hello everyone, welcome back to the CADA Draft League. This is a replay of the Week 6 match. I wasn't able to get the footage recorded live, so I thought I'd get something done as a filler to go alongside the rest of the battles to keep that continuity going. This was against qwertz, coach of the Leafeons, and a very, very good friend of mine. And it's just a great battle to have. We did go with non-top tier Pokemon, so this is all of our C tier Pokemon and a couple of our B tier Pokemon from the draft, just to add a bit of flavour to this matchup. It was kind of a point we both made it into a good position being top cut. We just wanted to say, you know what, we can nudge ourselves into that top cut playoff bracket in a very, very fun fashion. Of course, my team, has some very, very powerful low tier picks in comparison to qwertz's, which did feel a bit disadvantageous for my opponent. But it was just fun and games for there, especially some of the sets and the text we brought. And I'll just be running everyone through a bit of a running commentary of how that battle went. And jumping straight into that turn one, I led off with Morgrem and Failings, and qwertz led off with a very, very passive lead of the Misdreavus plus the Fungus, which I felt really, really nice going into because I had a tech for this Fungus on pretty much most of my Pokemon, not all of them, but there were techs there to make sure that this Fungus wasn't as much of a nuisance as it could be. Misdreavus, I knew that it wasn't as strong as it could be, especially compared to when it evolves, or the Flutter Mane of its Paradox form. So I could just kind of leave it be, let it do its thing, and just ignore it, and make sure that this Pokemon in the Fungus is gonna be gone. Just because that can put my Pokemon to sleep and get Pollen Pulse and make powers off. So I took that Terra Ice was one of my techs and get the Fake Out off really well, and no retreat just gives me that boost straight away. And there is a Trick Room, which does mean that I'm slower, but it does mean I can get it torn off anyway, stopping any sort of status moves, and it stops that Hex doing as much damage. And then at that +1, we see the Iron Head. I think I was predicting a Terra Fairy at that point. I think it's the only move I had to hit that wasn't the Terra Ice Terra Blast, which I was waiting to reveal, where I think kind of seeing that Terra Ice on a Pokemon that isn't normally going that typing. qwertz would be picked up, there's going to be a Terra Blast in there somewhere. But getting that thing down to its sash and kind of stopping that Spore plus Hex combo was really, really nice, especially that early into the game. It does force that switch out, which is really nice for me because I can just push things around, but then the burn does go off onto the Failing, so I do reveal the Terra Blast into the Copperage that switches in, but I can then just go again and get my screens up, which is the +1 as well. Even that Terra, it doesn't do all too much from a Pokemon that is very, very strong, and that just allows close combat, even that burn after the defense drop onto the Copperage just allows for everything to kind of fall into play and I'm going to knock out, which is very, very good because Copperage was something I was scared of, especially once that burn has gone down, knowing that it is like a very, very bulky attacker once it comes into that Trick Room. And just by having a situation as well, I knew like Failings can drop and I could spray something else in the Trick Room, which is very, very nice to go alongside it. And Morgrem didn't mind being burned because it's not doing all that much damage. A Taunt off into the Misdreavus meant I could just make sure it wasn't getting any more Will-O-Wisps off if it wanted to. It also meant that if there's any other passive moves in the back there, it couldn't go for that, such as that Trick Room. And then of course it just is forced out damage, and Fragment coming in pretty much seals the deal, especially alongside Bastiodon, because I can, well, even though I've terrored, I can kind of just sit here happily. There's a Taunt down on the Misdreavus, so it can't go for any Will-O-Wisps anytime soon. And Fragment, I think, was just enough to outspeed a slower end Flareon, which I could really be happy with. And there's Waterfall, even with the Terra, gets that knockout shot of Pavlot in, and that Dazzling Gleam does nothing to either of these Pokemon. It does a lot of Fungus to come in, but I have that Ice Punch, just loads of damage. Can't freeze because of the effect of the Sheer Force. Do drop down the Mistress, that's fine because I can just happily get Bastiodon in a very, very pivotal position. Sport goes off, which I was quite fine with because you see on its very last turn I do reveal another one of my techs, which I did have just in case I had that slow end game of Bastiodon versus its Fungus, and it did get the knockout with that body press at +1. So I was very, very happy going with a victory into this match. I did feel going into the very start of it that it was going to be very, very advantageous in my position, just because I had a lot stronger with the lower end Pokemon. But qwertz went for a bit of a fight, like to catch me off guard. I thought I had lost it in the burn for being thrown around, and Fungus had that power to use its regenerate ability to swap it in and out. Though of course it isn't just that one game, it is a best of 3. So I just want to run everyone through how I did in the rest of the games because it just gets even more fun from this point onwards. Of course, it is that game 2, and this was again just kind of that position where it's like fun and games were being thrown out the window, because I think I got a bit too greedy of the fun in the first game rather than text too soon. Of course, the sleep talk tech was something that probably put qwertz off a little bit, because it just meant they could just spam sleep moves. Mist Reverse of course stopped me as well from doing that, so there was that bit of a shaky factor there, but yeah, it was something to keep in my back pocket to make sure I was happy and sound dealing around with those Pokemon. But we'll jump into this game. I do believe I led the exact same. Yeah, Morgrun plus Phalanx, because it just stopped so many different moves. And then we have the same coming out from Wex. That Rage Powder for that taunt on that first turn, which is very, very good, because it just well, the fake out could have gone there, taunt going there means there's no spores, and Trick Room does go up, forcing that turn 1 switch, which is amazing, because I can then get a free Terra out of Taunt off as well, stopping anything, and Will-O-Wisp can't go through. The Ice type move into that Flareon, still doing over, well, not even over, but nearly 40%, was amazing damage for resisted attack. And again, as always, I could just leave the Mischievous as a bit of a sitting duck, because it's not really doing too much, and then getting that boost up with the Reflect as well was so nice, because it allowed me to take it a bit better. But of course, Dazzling Gleam did give away my worries and my wares and to get that knockout, but just allowed Bastion to come in, and really, like, I could just sit comfortably, like Flare Blitz even being not even super effective, but look how much damage this is doing. Like, I'm taking nothing from that +2 position, and this is where I just felt comfortable. I was happy, I was dandy with where I was. There is a switch out there to get a new Pokemon in, and the quick attack coming off the Flareon doesn't do all too much damage. Promo Torn onto the Copperajah meant it was just, you know, if it had any stats, which I don't think it did have any. It was kind of just existing. It was there. Like, it could do big damage. It's got like 2 options for a 4 times effective move, like possibly into Bastiodon. But of course, I know it has a superpower at this point in the game, and I think later on it reveals a high horsepower or stomping tank or something like that. Of course, with Fugus being there as well, there's that pressure of like from the weak sleep, and Sleep Talk doesn't always roll the body press, which can be a bit annoying. So I then have to run a bit more of a bargain-based situation to gamble a little bit, try and make sure I get that hit. And Morgrem again could just set up screens, go for all those different moves to put that pressure down, such as a Taunt. Rage Powder comes in out, I do get that Taunt off just to make sure there is no more shenanigans. Another round defenses means I'm happy and dandy. We've been out faster than this Copperajah as well, so I can get that defense pick beforehand. And allowing to bring Feraligatr in, that body press, getting a clean knockout, whilst Feraligatr then just taking very, very little damage. And with Feraligatr there as well, I can just quite comfortably go for Dragon Dance so I can get some moves off. Waterfall does go into Mischievous as it misses its attack in that Will-O-Wisp, and revealing a foul play tech that I had tucked away on the Bastiodon just in case I needed it for one of those more powerful physical attacking Pokemon. And now I'm just quite happy to go for these boosts with things like Dragon Dance and stuff, and I think Wex just kind of saw the writing was on the rules at this point, because I was able to just get these boosts up, or I could just go for Sleep Talk with them into the body press, as it is body press that does get that clean KO at the end of the battle. And I did get a little heart in chat from Wex there, because he was happy that we got to do this fun format for our battle, and I was happy got to do it as well, especially because it meant I was a step closer to that top cut bracket, as well as getting some of my less orthodox Pokemon some tiny shines, such as that Feraligatr, which did get an appearance I believe in week 7, which I was going up alongside this game, as well as Bastion just getting some more knockouts after I thought I would never be using it in this tournament, because it was just kind of like a sleeper pick to make sure I had a good steel type and a slow body press Pokemon. Though of course I'll make this one swift and quick, because much I can praise these Pokemon, they are going to have that uphill battle to make sure I find myself in that top up bracket, which I think as of this battle I was near enough guaranteed it, but I want to get that higher seed, get an easier opponent going into that final slot for the playoffs. So of course I have to see how week 7 goes alongside this game, see if I do nudge myself even closer to that top cut bracket, if I am able to keep my way going through the CADA League with 2 top cuts in a row. We are here for our week 7 match after facing up a good friend in week 6. We played a bit more of a fun format last time, because I wanted to make sure me and my friend were having a bit more fun and weren't developing any stinginess towards each other. But this is where we pull at the big guns again to push ourselves further above and beyond in that victorious level of the bracket. I am going against qwertz, aka Vivian Hunter, the coach of the Gravel City Graveler. They have like Gravel in their name like 5 or 6 times. It's quite a mouthful. But yeah, Then I think I placed last year, and I think it was quite close last year. I don't know how close it was in terms of closeness, but I know they're a good player. I think they're currently on a equal-ish record. I think they're 3 for 3 or whatever the most equals record is right now. So we're both kind of gunning, you know, they're gunning to get that win to push themselves up into the upper bracket. I'm pushing that win to make sure that I stay in that upper bracket. Of course, though, while we're here, I'll quickly take a look at the team that I am bringing, and there is going to be something very similar to what we brought in the Fun Week, with having that Feraligatr there, as well as that Morgram, as well as the Bastiodon actually. So 3 of the Pokemon making a return, which is really, really good because it shows they're very, very powerful for even the cost they are in that low tier. And then just the 3 really strong, Trick Room-y sort of like supportive Pokemon coming out there, with the Ursula and Blood Moon being a strong attacker, Vardraf kind of doing a bit of attacking and a bit of defensive play, and then Clefable is just there to kind of control the field, get some follow me's. I believe I put Icy Wind on it to have a bit more speed control outside of Trick Room should I need to have it. Of course, this is one of those matchups where I think it'll be quite good. Feraligatr does really well into the Flutter Mane and Chi-Yu my opponent could be bringing. If they bring both of those, then that plus screens is just enough to really just rip through as much as possible. But of course, that is just a bit of predetermination. Let's see if that does apply in the main battle, which I will jump over to in a hot second once my opponent is ready. Alright then. Game 1 of the battle, a lot of Pokemon I thought would be coming, if not all the Pokemon I thought would be coming, have been brought, especially that Chi-Yu plus Flutter Mane combo from those 2 S-tier powerhouses. Something that I really did expect. Like, I would have been shocked if they didn't come. I guess it could have been a bit of a mind game, you know, to say like, hey, I didn't write you most powerful Pokemon. But it's fine. I see them and I can just quite happily lead into them. So I'm gonna go with the lead that I want to test the waters with, which I think will be very, very good into most of these Pokemon. And in the back, it looks like they may be getting Trick Room set up, which I'm actually fine with. I'm just going with Vardraf Ursaluna. It just gives me so much pressure in that Trick Room environment. As you see, okay, so there's no leads I thought. I think we're actually going to Terrify a Swords Dance to stop all Will-O-Wisp from going through. And then set up a... In fact, yeah, I'm going to set up a Reflect, and I'm fine and dandy there, because like, they're probably going for a Gyro Ball or a Thunder Wave or something. If they go for Will-O-Wisp, then I'm going Terrifier. There's a Protect, okay, I'm fine with that. Reflect, Swords Dance, and Imprison. Okay, so... I wonder what they're imprisoning. Maybe Screens? I don't know, but I'm going to go for that Terra Blast into you. And then I'll Thunder Wave you. Like, just getting you paralyzed is quite good, so I can deal with you later. In fact, you can't really touch me. Oh, well, already gone through. It did take a second there to update, which is a bit annoying, but work with that. As it is a 9 defense set, which is fine. Paralysis goes through, a bit annoying for them, obviously. But I'm going to go for a Waterfall into you, and then just go for a Thunder Wave into you, get that paralyzed. Just have Power Flinch down the line, which would be very, very useful on both of these Pokemon. It's the Waterfall goes off and gets flat out knockout, which is really good. Iron Defense does still get the pressure put through, which is a bit annoying, but I can live with that, really. Did you see Toxapex coming out? Okay, that's fine. Honestly, you're putting pressure down with Water Type attack, which I'm going to scout which Water Type attack that is. But I'm just going to go for Waterfall into you, and then set up a Light Screen to be safe. There's a Baneful Bunker, which I'm okay with, because we do have that increased chance of Power Flinch, which it does go through, and this is one of my win cons I have to go with the Terra Dragon being an option. It's just focusing down on that slot, and I'm just going to go ahead and try and paralyze the Toxapex as well, like making sure that it isn't doing, like none of these things are doing anything. Waterfall goes off and it has that chance. Paralysis again. Double paralysis. I'm so sorry there to my opponent. Oh no, they're getting a bit salty in chat on my screen, but it is what it is, unfortunately. We'll go for that Waterfall again, and I'm just going to go for a Reflect, actually, just get those screens up. Waterfall, and we see a power or a flinch. There is that Agua Fairy. Is there no paralysis? Oh no. Oh, that is such a shame. I'm going to go for the Waterfall into this slot here, and then go for a Thunder Wave into that slot. They do go for that switch, which is okay, which does give them a little bit of time to work around. That's at 50%. There's a Pain Split going off, which is going to give them a fair bit of HP, which is quite nice. I'm going to go for a Stomping Tantrum into that side. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for the Waterfall here, and then just go for I'm going to go for a Parting Shot. Just it drops its stats and goes for a Muddy Water, and I'll go into the Pharaoh Giraffe. Body Press does finally go through with the. Doesn't get a knockout. It's good. There's a double Pain Split mode. Oh, that's going to be really annoying. I'm gonna go for Stomping Tantrum into the Toxapex, just making sure that that's. Oh no, I have to Psychic Noise, don't I? I'm just gonna go for the Waterfall for the Power Flinch, and then go for Psychic Noise into the Toxapex so it can't heal up. I really wish I bought Dazzling Gleam now. And that goes to 40 speed, that's probably mid speed. Oh wait, I can't flinch with Waterfall because I'm Sheer Force, I'm so stupid. I can't believe my win con one of my conditions was going for Power Flinch and doesn't actually have the flinch chance. So maybe Stomping Tantrum is the play. I'll see how much it does just for scouting reasons, and it also puts that pressure onto it. I'm actually gonna I'll double up into it. Let's see, Terra Blast is 80, but go for double. As there's a Wide Guard, which I'm fine with. A little bit more, but we do take the chip damage. As Terra Blast doesn't get a knockout, Body Press doesn't get a knockout in return either. I'll go into Ursaluna, because now I can just go for an Earth Power into you. In fact, I'm just gonna go for a Blood Moon into you, just in case you swap. And then no, Blood Moon into you in case you swap, and then Psychic Noise into you. So the swap is on that slot, which I'm fine with. There's a Protect there. I can't Blood Moon now, but I can go for a Hyper Voice. And I am going to go for a Psychic Noise into this slot as well, just because if that then switches. We're fine and dandy. Moonblast, okay, I'm good with that. See what Hyper Voice does with the Silk Scuff, does get that knockout. We can start going for Blood Moons now, especially with Morgram coming in, we can set up Light Screen. So I'm going to go for Blood Moon to this slot, and then set up Light Screen. Okay, so there's that Wide Guard, which is really nice for me. Moonblast goes into Ursaluna, doesn't get knockout, but it does get the special attack drop. I think at this range, it should be a-okay. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. And then Earth Power, and then I'm just going to go for a Parting Shot, just to kind of call it. As Earth Power is enough. Oh, with a critical hit, unfortunately. GG's to my opponent. They got really unlucky that game. I really do feel bad. Well, let's quickly jump over to game 2, try to make it as swift as possible for my opponent, as well as trying to work out how we can break through that really defensive core from the get-go. Alright then, so I didn't even hit me with the good luck with the luck I got last game. How do we... asking for not as much luck in this game. How do I break through this? Because like that defensive core was really hard for me to actually shatter. Do I go for the same and just like bait the terror? My opponent asked for a quick pause, so I will cut back in a second to when we have started the battle, and I'll join everyone just there. Okay, so the break is over. My opponent is back to play some more of this best of 3. Of course, this is game 2 we're jumping back into, and I do have a bit of time to think what I'd go with, and I think maybe trying to get my own Iron Defense Body Press mode set up could be very, very useful. The only problem is if they go for some, because I've run on that Follow Me, if they go for their Chi-Yu plus Flutter Mane, that mode is shut down within like seconds. I think I can give it a try because I'm a game up, I can risk things. And then in the back, I'm going to go for Ursula and Faradraff again, just to kind of have that Trick Room pressure held up to my, I guess to my name, to the team. Yeah, my opponent also has a bit of time to think about it. They had a bit of a discrepancy in their plan, but yeah, we can see how things go with that. As Val is starting Bastidon and Clavel is late. I did lock in with the Dusk Noir. Oh, and okay, there is a change to them. So they haven't revealed like a Will-O-Wisp or anything, but honestly, this turn is just bread and butter. Quite an easy Iron Defense plus Follow Me, because if there's a Will-O-Wisp, then we know that that's going to Fable, and Fable isn't Magic Guard this week, it's unaware, but I don't care. And of course, we get the Iron Defense up, we just kind of allow ourselves to take loads of hits from these Pokemon. There's that switch out. Okay, so we're just getting a free Iron Defense up. The Iron Head going to Fable does a lot of damage. That's for a sheer force from the Tauros there, which I'm completely fine with. This could be a very good turn to get that Terrestrialization with Terra Water, because I lose the fight type weakness, 4 times fight weakness actually, and I lose the 4 times ground weakness, which is really, really nice. And also if it's locked into that Iron Head by any means, and we can work around that. So we're just gonna go for again Terra Water plus Iron Defense, and then honestly, I'll go for a Life Dew because that just gives me a HP back if something doesn't get hit, which is really good. That okay, so Life Dew does get the heal on the Clefable. There's 9 defense there from the Forest, which I always get that Pokemon's name. We can't actually break through the Dust Noir with Bastidon, which is annoying. Well, I guess we can Heavy Slam it, but that's about it. Honestly, another Iron Defense in the books here. I'm fine with that. And then just a Life Dew, keeping my HP nice and steady, as close to full as possible. Taunt on the Bastidon, that's fine, because actually that's not, because I don't get another Iron Defense off. But I also go for a Body Press, and I'm going to go for I'll go for a Helping Hand, because then that just gets loads of damage off. Taunt on Clefable is annoying, actually. See, that does nothing. Yeah, okay, so going for the IDBP mode wasn't the play, but I'm gonna go for the switch into Faradraff. I think I've lost it there by getting a bit too greedy by going for Iron Defense Body Press mode. Okay, this I can work with, My taunts ended. I'm gonna go for Heavy Slam into you. And then I'll go for a Terra Blast into you. Moonblast goes into that slot, that is fine and dandy. Terra Blast goes off, does a tiny chunk. Body Press will probably get the Faradraff because of how much boost it's got. Heavy Slam gets unbulky Flutter, which that Arna would intimidate actually, so that might have mattered. I'll bring in Ursaluna. I'm quite happy with having that in right now, and I'll go for a Heavy Slam into Flutter and go for a Protect. That should be fine. Like, this thing is like special defense is like massive. It's like 500 physical defense, so we're Gucci. We're going for that Protect. We take a Blast. Oh, okay, yeah. That throws a Spanner into the works a little bit, but I can kind of work around that. I'm gonna go for another Iron Defense. So I'm gonna switch into Clefable actually, just so I can take a Moonblast in that slot. And if the Moonblast does go there, like I don't see it going to the Bastion. There is that switch, which is fine because we're getting an Iron Defense off, which I'm happy with. Body Press, Clayable's gonna ignore that, plus also resist it. I'll go Body Press, I don't think they're gonna bluff the switch, and I'm just gonna go for Life to get my HP back. They got two ghost types I can switch into, which take the Body Press really, really well, but they've also got to then risk that Clefable just kind of sits there. Okay, so that's Terra normal. Double Edge does get Clefable, which is fine because we were just going for a healing move there. Body Press gets the knockout, the critical hit, so the luck coming out from my opponent this time round. And we can't break through this. I'm going to go for that Hyper Voice just to kind of, have a chance. But yeah, I don't break through that whatsoever. Hyper Voice does get the knockout on the Tauros from there, but of course Body Press is going to show its due dividends and get that knockout. GG's to my opponent, they played that really, really well. I got a bit too greedy by thinking that my Iron Defense Body Press mode could break through. But yeah, how do I change things up for this game 3? I think I know from how that game went how I can change it, so I can try and see how that lead goes, and hopefully it works out well and dandy for us. So I'll jump straight over to that. So I think I know my leads. I think Morgram plus Earthling is really good. Just because I didn't have presence into most of these Pokemon with really strong attack, and I can just adapt to what Morgram goes for based on what lead they have. So I'll go for that, and then in the back I think I'm going Fraligator, because then I can put the pressure down. Like with a physical attack in the back, and that's what the problem was. And then I'm not really going for Trick on this matchup, but Faradroth is just so nice with, I guess Clefable is also really nice because it has to follow me as life to keep me alive. But Faradroth just has that healing block, it has this Terra Blast. I think I'll go with Faradroth, like, that feels quite safe. Okay, so 2 physical attackers, and this Pokemon has a massive physical defense, so I'm going to go for Reflect. I'm just going to go for that Terra, make sure it goes right, Reflect, Terra Normal, and I'm just going to go for a Hyper Voice. Neither of these Pokemon get Wide Guard. Unfortunately it's not Lifeable because that's on the Fraligator, but this is still a very strong Hyper Voice. In fact, have you revealed... Don't think I revealed it. Oh no, we'll see. Reflect goes up, Double Edge does a tiny bit of damage, Hyper Voice goes through, gets knockout onto Tauros. Taunt goes onto Morgram, which obviously is going to be annoying because it is a Pokemon's relying heavily on getting those status moves off. I have 4 status moves. You coming in is fine. I'm going to switch into Faradroth and then go for a... I'm going to go for a Blood Moon into you, because if you switch, then that's a really good switch to catch off. Doesn't go for the switch, but we are revealing Speed Tiers there, and you guys can get your Iron Defense off, but honestly, I'm happy with where that is. This is going to be a bit annoying, actually. I'm going to go for a Terra Blast. I'm going to go for a Terra Blast into you, and I'm going to switch into Fraligator. Terra Fire goes to Heat Wave. That's fine. Fraligator takes nothing, doesn't get burnt. Terra Blast goes off into Chi-Yu, does a small amount of damage, and Body Press does minimalist damage there. I haven't got Protect on you, but I'm just going to go for a Terra Blast again, and Honestly, switching to Morgan, I'm trying to call it Dark Pulse. Just another heat wave, okay. Gonna go for a Terra Blast and get a light screen set up just to help out with the with these two, and I'm gonna go for Earth Power. Oh, this is a really tough one. I'm gonna go Hyper Voice, and then I'm gonna go for Waterfall and Chi-Yu. Okay, so no knockout there. Waterfall goes into that slot. Really annoying. Hyper Voice comes off, and I hope they go into Alligator, which they don't, and I don't think I can win this. So I'm going to throw a GG in chat there. This has become really hard. I am just going to go for that Waterfall just for it going off, but damn. I think we'll be going for protecting Ursaluna there, and then going for the Waterfall into Chi-Yu was the play, and then I could have just gone for Earth Power plus Waterfall the following turn. But yeah, it is what it is. Like letting that Pokemon get down defensive body press off when like most of my Pokemon hitting into it physical attackers or just weren't doing it. My special attackers didn't have the typing to break into it. Really did cause a struggle, but of course that is a fair battle to lose out on, and it does put me roughly equal. I think I want to say 4 and hang on, I want to say 4 and 3. That puts me up now. Something like that, 4 and 3, or yeah, 4 and 3, because I lost 2 before this. So 4 wins, 3 losses. I think that keeps me roughly in that top area of the bracket, but we'll have to see. One more week left to go. If I pull through that 5-3, I should be assured going through into the final stages. If not, yeah, I lost out to a very well played set of tactics and got very, very lucky in that game 1 with the hacks. So I'll see everyone in the next week when I try and pull it through for that final run of the tournament.